is not healthy. What a sick, repulsive human being. What's up, everyone? Thanks for stopping in. Not only is Ethereum the mother asshole from which the shitcoin spring, it is also a centralized scam, a continuance of the fiat madness. In short, it's about as cuckbucks as it gets when it comes to Ethereum. 70% pre-mine? I mean, come on. Talk about Cantillon effect. Now let's go ahead and get into it, shall we? It appears Morgan Stanley in a recent report stated that Ethereum has become more centralized by shifting to proof of stake, as 60% of the validators are managed by only 4 companies. There is no second best, you're goddamn right, Nick Cantmine. And just to show you, let's take a look at the Ethereum mainnet statistics, with the majority of that coming from Amazon servers. And we continue. If you guys do remember, a certain open source protocol was sanctioned by OFAC back in August. Our fearless leader, Nico, speculated that Ethereum would become completely co-opted by the state and show itself to be what it is, a completely centralized system and protocol. You might as well call it FedCoin. But let's take a look here. Since the majority of ETH nodes are run on AWS and Google, how long until the US government pressures them to only run OFAC-compliant ETH nodes? And let's go back to Tornado Cash. Looking at this one, I'm officially blocked by Aave since someone sent 0.1 ETH. So you remember those Tornado Cash Ethereum that was sent, and the dust went to all these celebrities, therefore they interacted with tainted coins, and therefore they were sanctioned as well. More shitcoinery. Question for Lido Finance, Coinbase, Kraken FX, Stake US, Bitcoin Swiss AG. If regulators ask you to censor at the Ethereum protocol level with your validators, will you A, comply and censor at protocol level, or B, shut down the staking service and preserve network integrity? I think we've got most of our answers since then. As Nico said, told you, most Ethereum validators are now rejecting your Tornado Cash transactions. Now, that was October 14th. We see about 51% enforced OFAC compliance. Oh, Magoo, the champ himself, the GOAT. Funny how this happened as soon as they switched from proof of work to proof of stake. And you can look here. That is out of the last 100 blocks. All the red were enforcing OFAC censorship. So non-censorship resistant, centrally controlled, unverifiable supply. Who knows what the supply schedule and fix and printing and inflation schedule is? It's completely manipulated. My God, it's a shit show. And capture is almost complete. Why is no one talking about this? No, look at Tomer dropping it right there. Okay, let's continue. So let's go back, right? The U.S. Department of Treasury sanctions notorious virtual currency mixer Tornado Cash, and this was back in August, and this is what stirred everything. If you remember, we wrote an article, The Fight for Freedom of Speech is the Fight for Bitcoin, and this involved how the Treasury went after an open source protocol, a piece of software, not an individual or person. Let's go ahead and take a look. The U.S. Department of Treasury's Office of Foreign Assets Control sanctioned virtual currency mixer Tornado Cash, which has been used to launder more than $7 billion worth of virtual currency since its creation in 2019. This includes over $455 million stolen by the Lazarus Group, a Democratic People's Republic of Korea state-sponsored hacking group that was sanctioned by the U.S. in 2019 and the largest known virtual currency heist to date. Tornado Cash was subsequently used to launder more than $96 million of malicious cyber actors' funds derived from the June 24th, 2022 Harmony Bridge heist, and at least $7.8 million from the August 2nd, 2022 Nomad heist. So yeah, look out, those scary North Koreans hiding in your closet and under your bed are the fear propaganda they are going to use in order to centrally capture this Vitalik shitcoin here. What's so funny is basically just a blog post went out and Ethereum became 100% centralized. What sort of weak sauce is that? That's why there is no second best. Let's continue. Treasury is sanctioning Tornado Cash, a virtual currency mixer that launders the proceeds of cyber crimes, including those committed against the victims in the U.S., said Undersecretary of the Treasury for Terrorism and Financial Intelligence Brian E. Nelson. Despite public assurances otherwise, Tornado Cash has repeatedly failed to impose effective controls designed to stop it from laundering funds. from malicious cyber actors on a regular basis, and without basic measures to address its risks. Treasury will continue to aggressively pursue actions against mixers that launder virtual currency for criminals and those who assist them. It's okay to launder money as long as you're doing it for the state and the collectivists, guys. It's fine. Like FTX, everything was fine and roses, but once the bodies start hitting the floor, you figure out who's swimming naked, and one of the biggest exchanges of all. The great shitcoin slayer Corey Clipston put it best, especially when he said, if you see the fallout of FTX, that pain will be nothing compared to that of the fallout from Ethereum once it all unravels, and it is so predictable. So predictable. And let's continue here. Looking at Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong says he'd cancel Ethereum staking if regulators mandate censorship. Well, I wonder, Brian, are you gonna hold yourself to that? Responding to a hypothetical question, Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong tells his 1 million Twitter followers that he'd rather shut down Ethereum staking rather than comply with censorship regulations if they ever came to fruition. It's a hypothetical we hopefully won't actually face, but if we did, we'd go with shutting down Ethereum staking. I think go to focus on the bigger picture. There may be some better option or a legal challenge as well, and that could help reach a better outcome. Going back to Tornado Cash, Armstrong voiced his displeasure of crypto mixer Tornado Cash being deemed a national security threat and subsequently banned, but noted that Coinbase will always follow the law. Sanctioning a technology as opposed to an individual or entity seems like a bad precedent to me, and it should probably be challenged. Could have many downstream unintended consequences. Hashtag Tornado Cash. According to Armstrong, developers should not find themselves in legal binds over the publishing of open source code in the US, even if that code is misused, as they are protected by their right to free speech. Now let's see what the damage is today going into the MEV watch. Okay, so post-merge OFAC compliant blocks, 77%. Enforced OFAC compliance, that was today. Over the week, 75%. Over the month, 69% OFAC compliance. And here is a better chart. You can see over time the growth and the political capture and centralization of Ethereum in real time. We'll have to take a look here. Functionally, we're launching the merge with censorship built in. Sometimes you just got to take it straight from the horse's mouth.
Means that functionally we're launching with censorship built in from the merge. Like as soon as the merge lands, we've got censorship happening as soon as we hit the ground. Now, there are some caveats here. One, of course, validators can choose to run whatever software they want. We can't stop them, and there is no way for us to functionally stop people from censoring. Two, Flashbots isn't the only relay builder. There's also Bloxroute. Bloxroute has 2 relays that will not be, they've asserted will not be censoring, and they have a 3rd relay that they'll be providing that is not live yet, but they plan on building that will be censoring. And then there's a third-party, Manifold, who claims to be building a relay, but they don't have anything to show for it yet. And so the question I think we have to answer, and this is, again, ideally if we can answer this somehow without getting into the philosophy, that'd be great, but I don't know if that's going to be possible, is do we want to go into the merge with MEV Boost and all the associated software and connections and tutorials and documentation, etc., when we know that the centralized entities that are going to be in control of this are providing censorship software to their users? I don't think there's an easy answer to this. I mean, I have pretty strong opinions, but even I recognize this is a complex situation and there's not an easy and obvious answer. Especially with Bloxroute, so Flashbots is a little more clear cut, like they're only offering censorship, that's the only option. Bloxroute is a little different because they are offering the user to choose. The caveat there is that you'd be pointing users, say, hey, go check out Bloxroute, and then they go to Bloxroute and Bloxroute is telling them, hey, this is how you undermine censorship resistance of Ethereum by running this thing, or if you don't want to undermine Ethereum, run this thing. And so I can definitely see, some people may feel differently on either side. The other caveat I'll say before we start discussing is that I recognize that this is the all-core devs call. I recognize it's mostly execution layer devs, and we've kind of handed the keys of the kingdom, so to speak, over to the consensus layer. So the consensus layer is in a better position to actually do something here. than I think the execution layer is. The reason I wanted to bring it up is just because the merge is so close. I think there's value in getting the discussion going, and because we do have some consensus layer clients.
And there you have it. Ethereum, the centralized OFAC compliant Fed coin, and the mother asshole from which the shitcoins spring that keeps the whole scam running and running and running. From the scourge to the purge to the verge and probably finishing with those turds. Yes, the mighty statist compliant Ethereum. Go fuck yourself, Ethereum. Thanks for stopping in with us. You just experienced a little news of the day from Simply Bitcoin, your home for the peaceful revolution. Remember, there is no second best. There is only one truly decentralized, free market money that originated from the market that is immutable, uncensorable, divisible, absolutely scarce, with a fixed known monetary schedule, which has survived numerous attacks, even from multiple state actors and from corporate interests. Please see the block size wars. And here we are, we just continue TikTok, next block, while all this madness unfolds and all the dead bodies start floating up. You just experienced a little news of the day from Simply Bitcoin, your home for the peaceful revolution. Be sure to tell your mom, your grandma, your sister, your aunt, your cousin, your nephew, your brother. Ethereum is a centralized scam. It is the mother asshole from which the shitcoins spring, and there is only one truly decentralized protocol, the hardest, soundest money ever discovered or created, the mighty Bitcoin. Well, that'll bring us to a wrap. Thanks to everyone again. Share us, give us a pump. Thanks for stopping in with us. Get on the mission and go get yours today. Until next time, peace.